This is Del Mar Mesa, an attractive development in the suburbs of San Diego. Here, long before the neighborhood developed and right in its heart, is Hooterville Estates. The new developers wanted to buy the property but were turned away. Hooterville remains, its eclectic presence announcing itself at the entrance. The 7-acre ranch has become beloved by the neighbors, especially those with children. Preserving a time and spirit that suburbs often erode, Hooterville's owners and residents, Elizabeth and Mike Rabbit, nurture a way of life that once was common on these hillsides. Today, however, we haven't come for the eggs.
What are you guys doing?
Elizabeth has made the ranch the starting place of the first annual Fave and Friends Walk for Water. The trick is keeping the goats from eating the sign. But how did Elizabeth Rabbit and Hooterville become the vortex of the Fave and Friends Walk for Water? Elizabeth first learned of the water crisis in Africa while volunteering on mission trips with Maranatha. Having seen the life-changing effects a well brings to communities there, Elizabeth freely shared her passion for water wells with her neighbors back at home. This included Mia Goldman and Emma Reeves, two young women who have known Elizabeth since they were little kids.
Miss Elizabeth has always been kind of this neighbor that I was kind of growing up. I've lived here since I was 2, and I've always looked next door. Oh my gosh, that farm is amazing. I wonder who lives there. And finally, I got to meet this amazing woman, Elizabeth, who's kind of just this creative person, does what she wants, builds her own things, raises horses, and she's kind of just been a role model to me probably since I was a little girl, and I've always kind of wanted to be like her.
I met Elizabeth when I was like 3 when we moved here. I always looked up to her. I was just seeing this crazy place with having all these horses and having me be into horses. It really just made me she just inspired me, and by chance and fate I was so lucky to be able to keep my horses here, and I think over time our families have bonded and we've really just spent a lot of time together.
My girls in this neighborhood that they've been coming to my ranch here since they were, 4, 5, 6 years old. They were tiny. And they hang out here, and we were painting, and they were talking about going to college, and they knew I had been to Africa, and they were asking me questions and about what I learned and what it was like. And they started just like brainstorming, and I don't know really whose idea it was. And then they said, well, we could do this and we could do that. And they said, well, we have this club, Female Athlete Volunteers, and we have to find projects for them in order to get points. And the club has to sponsor so many events a year. And so that's how it started.
Fave is Female Athlete Volunteers, and it is an amazing group of young women, especially in San Diego. It's got about 200 plus members now, and it's something I've been a part of for probably 6 years now. And we kind of go around San Diego and participate in any volunteering events. And this event especially was made for Fave, which I think was really cool and unique.
And so Emma and Mia really took the bull by the horns, and they contacted all their friends and all the club members. That's why we called it Female Athlete Volunteer and Friends, because there were several people that wanted to be involved that weren't in the club.
The idea was to raise money to drill and set a water well for a community in Kenya. Elizabeth was one of 26 Maranatha volunteers who built a dormitory at a school there. The Maranatha well drilling team was there too. They discovered a source for water, and it was one of the most prolific water wells they had drilled in the country. Elizabeth saw an opportunity to encourage Emma and Mia back home.
Emma Reeves and Mia Goldman and all the female athletes.
Elizabeth
Thank you
sent
so
us
much.
some clips of her experience in Africa.
Emma Reeves and Mia Goldman and the female athlete volunteers. Thank you for the gift of water. You are our sisters.
Right after she sent me those videos, I kind of was tearing up because they were like talking to me and Mia, the girls in Africa, and I was kind of like, wow, this is real. Like, this is really touching, and this is actually affecting people in Africa.
This specific fundraisers, I really wanted to help because these girls who are my age, girls from like 5 and like up to like 50, they all go and they just like walk 4 or 5 miles a day, twice a day. We're carrying like 6-gallon buckets of water, and it's just crazy. And I think that they could really be spending a lot of this time like gaining education and gaining social skills with their friends, and I really just want to help them like gain these kinds of skills that can help them be successful later in life.
The goal the group set for themselves, $15,000, the median cost of drilling and setting a well in Kenya. The event they created to bring attention to the need, walking a mile to a local pond to collect water in buckets and carry the water back to Hooterville where it could be symbolically collected.
Hi, I'm Mia Goldman,
And I'm Emma Reeves.
and we're here in Carmel Valley doing our first annual Walk for Water. We're going
The
to
three
walk to
used
Death Pond to
Maranatha's
get water
online
made back to
fundraising
Elizabeth
platform
so
to
that
manage donations.
this is
They would meet regularly to organize, plan, and prep materials.
keep the website, right?
Emma and Mia's friends, Morgan and Megan, also joined the leadership team.
Yes.
We just knew Megan, the one who lived across the street from us, and we were like, I remember when she was little, she used to make so many of these little arts and crafts, and we were just like, I wonder if she's still into it, and she was really willing to come over and help us. And one day she just decided to bring Morgan, and she was such a helpful part of the team, and I think we worked together so well, and we just made it happen.
All of the girls put social media to work for them.
Emma drafted an email and she sent it out to everyone, and I went around my school and through a lot of social media I posted it everywhere I could. I made highlights on my Instagram. I made sure to tell all my friends to go check out my link, and I'd send it to them, and I had my dad send it to all of his friends, and I really just made sure that everyone knew about this because it's really important to me.
Local and regional press also took note of Walk for Water. The day of the event, FAVE volunteers, their friends, and even a group of first graders arrived ready to help. And of course, many moms ready to lend their support.
I try to make cookies. The first batch burned, the second batch made it.
Okay.
It smells like burnt cookie at my house now.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Each girl received a handmade name tag and a bracelet that Elizabeth brought home from Africa. They also were given a black and red checkered cloth they could use as a sash or bandana in honor of the blankets that are commonly used during the cool Kenyan winters. Every girl received a bucket. The little ones, gallon buckets. The bigger girls, 2 to 5 gallon buckets. Without much fanfare, they were off.
I'll put it on my head. Okay, you put it anywhere.
So what we're trying to do is represent what African women do on a day-to-day basis, and taking the fact that they have to travel several miles, several hours to just get water, and it's not even clean water. So we try to replicate that by taking our own buckets and getting a bunch of ladies in our community from like elementary school to high school and kind of show them what they go through every day.
I've been with these kids since they were single-digit age. They still call me Miss Elizabeth. They still say they want to be like me when they grow up. I mean, what could make you feel better? And if unless you're willing to give and to share and to invest in the greater community, and one of the things that I've been I think I've been trying to teach all of them is that even though we are just one person, we're almost more, if you think about, we're more like a beehive. We don't feel like a beehive, but we're all working together. We're a huge community, and the idea of them being able to reach all the way around the world to Africa, to people that they don't know and they'll never meet, to say, we'd like to make a difference in your lives, is a way for them to be part of that bigger beehive and to be part of the community.
Here you go, Sophia.
You can just hold it later for me. I can cut
Carrying that water was kind of a challenge, and I wasn't even carrying that much water, and I couldn't believe how difficult it would be for girls, little girls, to travel hours with that much water every day. It would be exhausting.
It's so amazing. It's just such an amazing feeling to know that I can be giving back to other people, because living in this bubble is great, but I haven't been able to really experience the outer world, and I feel like seeing all of this and doing all this research and just looking at all this is just so like eye-opening, and I just really want to give back now. Like whenever I think of people who just had these first world problems, I'm just like, well, I mean, it could be worse, and I'm just so happy that I can give back. It just makes me feel so amazing that my peers on the other side of the world can have a chance of living a normal lifestyle.
After the walk, the girls celebrated with pizza.
So even though girls my age may think that they can't make a difference in the world, if you grab a couple of your friends together and send out a couple emails, it will just make a world of change, because we've raised over $11,000, just the four of us. And it's hopefully gonna make a well for a whole village.
As of today, Walk for Water has raised $15,585. A well will be drilled and a pump placed in a village in Kenya. The experience of fundraising for wells in Africa inspired Mia to take her involvement a step further. A couple months after the event, Mia, her mom, and her brother traveled to Kenya to meet firsthand the people to whom Maranatha is reaching out. They volunteered at the Gucha School in Kisii, building a much-needed classroom. It's an experience that's sure to ignite more involvement from Mia.
We live in a bubble. We live, we're in San Diego, in beautiful homes. We wake up every morning and just in paradise. And when you think about how lucky we are, and then, doesn't that make us responsible for sharing our luck and sharing our wealth with others? I mean, if you imagine that a world where nobody shared, and if nobody was willing to give back, if we all just kept it to ourselves, we really depend on people and their generosity and their need to share to make the world a better place and to help someone.